Hello everyone, this is Dopey Woodworks here, and we are taking our next step in our grafted walnut project series. As we left off last time, we were looking at a cutting board for our friends Shane and Elaine. This is going to be an amazing project. However, right now we're going to start to move on to a new project, which is for our clients Josh and Megan. Wonderful people. Anytime we get wood that is from the mill, we know that it is never actually straight for any reason. As we can see here, this is not straight. And then even as we look at the edge here, it is way off. So what we're going to do is I have drawn a line here currently, and that's where I'm going to make my initial cut for this board. The clients are asking for 18 by 24 inch board, so I'm going to move this over to roughly 25 inches. And I'm going to begin to make my initial cuts from there. And then we will go back from this point and we will make our board from these two sections, and we will run it through the jointer. We will run it through the router jig to flatten it, and then we will also run it through the planer. So this is our first initial step. So what we need to do at this point is we're going to continue this line forward. I'm going to place my pencil on that mark and then move my straight edge here so that it meets that mark. We have to take extra steps because this is not straight lumber by any means. So we are going to move this, actually see, that's why we got to take our time. We have to move this, there we go, straight this way. So as we see by looking at this lumber piece here, because it was not straight, we have to make the time and take the time in order to get straight pieces out of this. We are very fortunate that we will have a overage on each side and top and bottom in order to get this done. So let's get cutting. So the next step that we need to get here is to cut off this piece right here. I did think about using my straight cut jig on this, but it's kind of awkward. So I'm going to make the initial cut with a circular saw, and then I will go back and clean it up on the jointer at a later time. This is a headphones warning for anyone that is watching. Now what has happened is that because we have this raised part here, it was going to catch it and possibly raise it, causing a tilt in it. So I'm going to move to this side and finish the cut from this side. And once again, I have drifted some, or the wood is too thick. Let's see, the wood is actually too thick, so I will complete this with my trim saw. So while I was off camera, I looked, and actually I did not complete the actual cut. So I did not have to trim up with my flush cut saw or my pull saw. So we got this edge. I will go back and trim that up in just a second. With this next cut, what I'm going to try to do is continue this line forward as done from the last time. Again, we don't have to be too incredibly precise because at this time, This is rough cutting. We will go back and clean all these things up later. I have placed boards for support underneath on both sides so that hopefully the blade won't get bound. I need to move the cord around this. You guys that work in a small shop know what the headaches can be for sure. So we will make this cut. Once again, probably a headphone warning for those watching on headphones. All right, this will make this project substantially lighter. Let me move away this portion of the slab and I will get right back to you. All right, now that we have that moved over there, Shane and Elaine will get you guys soon. You guys are next in our order in the queue of boards that are coming up. Josh and Megan, you guys have requested for a board that is 24 by 18. Currently I'm at 25 and 7/8 it looks like. As we look at this board, we see that one end is all hardwood, meaning just the inner part of the tree, and then we have the outside part of the tree, which is our sapwood. And this, I believe we're looking at just over 20 inches, so we have a lot to play with. So that we get the beauty of the black walnut, what we're going to do is we're going to measure from this edge our 18 plus inches. I'm going to measure out 18¼ inches. That'll give me plenty of room that I can work with. So we make our line at 18 right here, and 1/4 or 1/4. We do the same thing, 18¼ and then I will draw my line and we will make our move from there. And as we can see how much wiggle room is inside this board once I connect this line. Watch this. So when I look at 18¼ look at how much or how uneven this board actually is. You see this board that runs through here and runs through there. There is so much extra board on here and so uneven. This is why we go through the mill though, because it saves us substantially so much money. It saves us, not staves us. That was kind of weird. It saves us so much more money, but it is more prep time. All right, so now that we can make this start to be square, we're going to cut up this final edge here. I'm gonna try to get this at the 0 mark. Sorry for the background noise. That is a landscaper. The extra room, because once I go over the jointer, I'll be able to clear up this edge. So we took it over to the table saw. We got to cut down to 18 inches. As we can see here, we are just slightly over, which is fine because we still need to clean off some edges. And so now what we have to do is get this down to the 24-inch mark. So let me mark here, 24. Let me mark here, 24. And once again, I'll mark it up at the top at 24. And that will give me a good line to go off of. That way I can trim this up some. Wonder why that looks different. Let's see. I marked it too far. So right on line where it should be. I'm gonna take this over the table saw and clean up this edge, and we'll be right back. All right, so we just finished up at the table saw with our crosscut sled, and now we have a board that is 24 by 18. Our next steps are to sand, router, make sure this thing is flat everywhere. So we'll see you guys next time. Please, guys, do me a favor. As you guys can tell, I am a new channel. If you guys would do me a favor, please like and subscribe, and even throw in a comment. I would surely appreciate it. The algorithm loves that, and the foreman likes that as well. So see you guys next time.